between them through the years of childhood and growing up. "Hang on, Al," he said quickly, trying to regain ground, stretching out a hand to her. But Mags was calling to them. "Come on, you two, your tea is getting cold." And Alice pushed past him and crossed the grass to the garden table under the hawthorn tree. He could hear her voice, light, amused, and he knew that he had failed her. It was early evening before he could talk to her again, tracking her down to the garden room where cut flowers filled every available vase and jug, and Helen's voice, always louder than anyone else's, was detailing off decorating parties to carry them down to the church. Leo seized Alice by the hand and dragged her out into the stone-flagged passageway between the kitchen and the garden room. "What about that walk down to the sea?" "Oh, no," she protested. "We should be helping." But he could see that she longed to go, to escape. "They don't need us," he said. "Helen's got everyone organised. Come on." They hurried away, crossing the garden, out into the lane and down to the village. Passing over the slipway between the hotel and the cafe and onto the beach, they continued to walk until they reached the sea's edge. The tide was on the turn, the sea resting placidly against the shore, and they sat down together on the sun-warmed stones. "So," he said at last, "do you want to tell me about it?" Alice crossed her ankles, drew up her knees and folded her arms around them. She was wearing a long wrap-around indigo-blue Indian cotton skirt and a T-shirt. Her plaited brown hair reached nearly to her waist. "Yes," she said, "and no. As soon as I saw you, I wanted to blurt it all out, but now I don't know where to begin. It's all so terrible and unmanageable." He sensed her panic and felt his own fear rising again. It was essential to remain calm and sympathetic. "Start at the beginning, go on till the end, then stop," he said, glancing at her. "You're pregnant. Are you absolutely sure?" Her profile was so set, so still, that he reached out to touch her hand, and she smiled briefly. As their eyes met, just in that moment, he knew that she was wondering whether to retract, to take the opportunity he'd given her to say that she wasn't sure, that she might be panicking. Part of him wanted her to say that, to let him off the hook, but his affection for her reached out to her fear. "Tell me," he said, almost angrily. She shook off his hand and dropped her forehead onto her knees. "Yes," she stuttered, "I'm sure." "Who's the father?" Alice clasped her knees more tightly, pressing her face against them so that her voice was muffled. "George," she muttered. "It's George. Oh God, Lion, what am I going to do?" Leo swallows his coffee and turns away from the window. The failures and humiliations of our pasts remain as fresh and sharp in our hearts as eggshells newly cast onto a compost heap. What should he have said to her? What solution was there to such a problem? His little cousin, one of the people he loved best in all the world, was pregnant with the child of his about-to-be brother-in-law. Leo was not quite 21, ready to start his final year at the Royal Agricultural College, Cirencester, and his experience of life was limited. He can remember her long skirt making a puddle of indigo on the stones, the fine gold chain around one of her thin ankles, the misery in her brown eyes. But he can't remember how he answered her. And now he has this letter from her. His fingers close over it, crumpling it, but the words are in his head. "Dear Lion, may I come home?" Impulsively, he thrusts the letter into the pocket of his cords, takes his coffee mug into the kitchen and puts it on the long refectory table. The kitchen is big, with a raftered ceiling and slate-flagged floor. It's still much as it was when his parents were here, the Belfast sink and wooden draining boards, the cream arga, the built-in dresser with its variety of mismatched china and pottery all anyhow along the shelves. His wife, Jenny, had never been very interested in the house, or in his plans for an arboretum and a wildflower meadow on the few acres on the hill above. She was a town mouse to his country mouse, and it hadn't taken too long to realise that. After the initial passion was extinguished, there was very little to hold them together.